podcast, where we discuss women's views, life lessons, and a little bit of sugar on the iced tea. So, listen, we're going to get right into it because we haven't been here for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay. And today's topic is when schools become battlegrounds. What does
Right.
that say about us? Now,
Mhm.
folks, I just want you guys to understand this was a topic that me and Heather picked before the recent unaliving of Charlie Kirk. So this was actually a topic that we picked beforehand.
Yes.
Um, so just wanted to let you guys know that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay. So the first thing is let's talk about the incident. So, folks, the incident happened on August 31st, 2025, 8:27 a.m. in the morning, and the unaliving happened at the Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis, where
Hmm.
there was two young children who were unalived by the shooter, which would be Robin Westman, and he was 22 years old. Um, Heather, what else do you know about this regarding what I just said, the basic unaliving? What else do you have to add? Do you know anything about the children? Anything?
No, well,
No.
I do know there's information out there on Westman. He was a student there. His mom had also worked at the school.
Ooh, I didn't know
And
that.
yes, the mom had also worked at the school. And yeah, so I mean, it wasn't just like a random picking of the school. I mean, he was a student
Right,
and the mom did work there too, which is not uncommon with these types of shootings, unfortunately,
right.
on there. So yeah, that's what I do know. And then
Okay.
something I just, well, I mean, I can talk about it later, but I did see a video online where it
Mm-hmm.
showed Westman going into a gun shop. Now, when he went to this gun shop, he did not,
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't at that time going to buy the weapon that he used for the unaliving. He was
Okay.
actually going in there to buy what? A handgun. And
Really?
he was very relaxed, very
Mm.
pleasant with the
Okay.
store owner. They were showing him
Wow.
the gun. They were even like laughing, like a casual conversation, like
Right.
when you go in a
Wasn't uptight,
store,
wasn't stressed. He just went in there
friendly,
like a
right?
regular customer.
Just a regular person, you would have no clue, like, oh, this person looks angry or they're not friendly or they have some issue.
Right.
No, no, no. And they were like, laughing, yeah, and he was testing the handgun, and this and handling it and all that. So he
Wow. I
did,
didn't know that.
yes. Yeah, so see, I just wanted to bring that up because, a lot of times, you know, people that show up to buy guns are not like angry or crazy when they come, and people might question it. There's everyday people that act just
Right.
normal, but have some sort of maybe, mental issue or something that's going
Right.
on with them, and
Right.
you would
Which
never know. Would you
I'm gonna get into that
never
later.
know?
Get to that later. But okay.
Yes.
All right. All right.
Hmm.
So I didn't know about the gun. I'm glad that you brought that up because I
Yeah.
didn't know about the purchasing and I didn't know that they had a video out like that. See, folks,
Yeah.
that's the reason why me and Heather we do our individual investigating because what ends up happening is we end up meeting in the middle with this information. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So listen. Now the next thing is I want you guys to know that there's kind of a pattern here. Now what I did was I did find some statistics on these shootings. And
Yeah.
one of the statistics is in 2024 there was 69 unalivings, and this happens to be at school. These are school and church incidences. 69 unalivings,
Wow.
11944, 194 wounded in US. And this is US
Wow.
school shootings. Okay. Now in 2024, there was 415 hostile church incidences. Hostile church incidences, including 28 armed attacks.
Wow.
Heather, that's a
That's a
lot.
lot.
That's a
That's a
lot. That's a
lot.
lot for school, and that's a lot for a church. All right,
Right.
that's a lot. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes because I know Heather wanted to get into this. The
Mm-hmm.
root causes and contributing factors. Now, Heather, I know that you did some investigating on this, so I'm going to let you go
Yes.
ahead and touch this.
Yeah, so I mean, there's definitely I mean, this is not a perfect science when we're talking about general traits, but I'm just going to
Right,
put some out there. So many of
right,
them are mostly male, and it can range from being a very young adult, or
hmm
a teenager, even
right,
up to 40 years old.
right.
Okay.
And Heather,
And
can I tell you something?
yes,
You just hit something that's a cute, a cue point there, which is male, and a lot of people don't know. Okay, and I'm not saying that this was of this young man, but
right.
for a lot of young men, okay, brain development
Yes,
happens
right.
within a specific time. And it ends
Yes,
at a specific time when these are males.
yes,
It usually ends about 18 to about 25 if
yes,
there is something that is mentally going on. So what
right,
happens is it doesn't show up right away. It doesn't
right.
show up until they're young people within the same age range that he is in.
Right.
Sorry to
Right.
interrupt you here. Go
No,
ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
that is totally true. That is totally true. So, some of the things that go on with a lot of these people involved in that are the actual shooters is they've either
Mm-hmm.
been bullied, they're loners, they feel like they've been wronged, they're kind of like they
Right,
feel kind of an outcast, or they're not really
right,
accepted by people.
right.
And they might be, just because they're different in different
Mm-hmm.
ways, personality wise. It could be gender wise. How they associate, with their gender, that kind of thing. They feel like they're ousted, and they
And
feel like
guess
they're
what? And also too, let's keep this in mind. I also noticed that this is happening more now than it was before. And
yes,
one of
very
the things I'm just going to bring up, nothing against anyone, but I am going to notice that now, back in the day, us as young people, we interacted with each other more. It was less
yes,
cell phone. I notice
right,
now that young people are isolated more
yeah,
and
very,
they're just
very
using their phone. They're not actually creating relationships outside of these phones. So
right.
that might be a key point as well. Just
Yeah.
saying,
Right,
just
right.
putting it
They're
out
not,
there.
well, because the young people are not really developing a more social skill and
Social
communication
skills,
skills,
right,
one-on-one, person to person, which I think was
right,
very important. And I'm glad that I was from that era that we didn't
right,
have cell phones or computers, because I felt
right,
like there was a lot of community, a lot of talking, a lot of social activities, in
right.
person. And I think that's really important.
Hmm.
But yeah, so some of these people are just, here's the other thing, signs
Uh
that are
huh.
being missed, not just by, look, parents, family, friends, schools, schoolmates. Sometimes this
Hmm.
stuff, it goes unnoticed, but you know what? Sometimes when this stuff happens in the aftermath, guess what's happened? Once you start talking to parents or school or people, things start coming out that there
Right.
was some sort of signs. Now, I'm not going to say it's a
And
specific
nobody
sign,
addressed it.
and no one addressed it. And I'm going to tell you, it's so important. With my boys, I have two boys. Look, I know they go through stages and stuff like that, but I'm one of those parents. I always try to keep connected. If I saw that there was a mood change or something like that, I would always try to see kind of what's going on. Because hey,
Right,
I know when I was growing up, I had all sorts of feelings. And when you're a younger kid
right,
and you're going
right,
through your hormonal changes and stuff like that, you
right,
feel certain kind of
right,
way.
right.
But I just think a lot of this stuff, and I'm not putting blame on anybody, because sometimes people get what, Tara? Busy, and then
Yeah,
they
yeah.
and kids need family support, like parental
Right,
support, where now a
right,
lot of kids are online, they're doing this, they're on the phone, the parents are doing their thing. But
right,
before, I feel like there was
right,
more family connection with one-on-one,
right,
because I would always see things if there was a mood, whether they were happy or kind of down, and I would always try to make it comfortable, like it's okay, if you're
right,
feeling this way, because we all have to
right,
go through that.
right,
But I think a lot of
right.
stuff is kind of missed. And like I said, I'm not putting fault or blame on, and the school is not the only person responsible.
I just think that Heather, honestly, it's just a different time.
It
It's a
is.
different time. There's a lot of things going on.
A
I
lot.
think that now, from what I've seen, even sometimes if parents are asking questions, sometimes kids don't want to be they don't want to be transparent. So
No,
we're
they
also
don't.
dealing with that
Right.
as well,
It's like
with kids
pulling,
not being
well,
transparent.
yeah, and and a lot of kids will be like pulling away, like, oh, it's fine, it's fine. I'm fine, like that kind of thing.
Exactly.
I get
Right.
it. So you know what? It's unfortunate because we can't always really see the signs or even project that a person's going to do this, because that's why they happen, because there's no perfect science of knowing who's more susceptible to do this versus somebody
Right.
who's not.
That's
So,
right.
but we
Right.
just have to do our due diligence with what? Reporting if we see or someone is threatening via social media or in person of
Right.
maybe doing something. Because sometimes there are people, especially with the newest case with, out in Utah, where the person was talking to someone, a close someone, kind of already outlining what they wanted to do, you
That's
know.
right. That's right.
So,
So
so there are
they did put
times
it
that,
out there.
yeah, there are times when there are this thing, and it's better to err on the wrong side and just report it, because it's better to be investigated than just to let, oh, they're not going to do it. Well, if someone is saying
Right.
something, you know what? That it needs to be
Right.
addressed.
Right.
Just to find
Right.
out if it's true, if they were going to go through with it or not, or maybe they'll back down and not do it. I don't know. I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
There's no simple answer, friend. But it is. We've seen this pattern going on for all these years right
Yeah.
now, and it's really
Yeah.
disarming. Yeah,
It's just
disarming that. Yeah.
it's just kind of despicable.
And a lot
So
of, what I notice, radical beliefs, radical. I mean,
right.
we
Coming
can
up
have
with
our
stuff.
opinions. We can all have our opinions and whatever. And I know that people get weirded out, with politics, religious, the LGBTQ, all that
That's
stuff.
right.
But at the end of the day, it's like, harming someone to make a point, or you're that angry, it's not going to change the situation.
Right.
It's just you're getting like this unaliving of Mr. Kirk is not going to change anything, because it's just this
It's
one
not.
person. And then,
It's
okay,
not.
that person's affected by his family. And then this young man who had a future, because he did have a scholarship, he's a smart guy, but he let these
Right.
radical
Right.
beliefs. And now, guess what? The family's affected, his siblings, he's affected for the rest of
Right.
his life. So it
That's right.
is, yeah, it's just, yeah, it's a very sad and alarming situation. So, yeah.
I just think that, to me, with this situation, I think that it's very unfortunate that this man was unalived on national television, that we
Yes.
all had to witness. That was horrible. I
No.
also do want to address that we also should respect one another.
Yeah.
We should respect each other's opinions, but let's
Hmm.
also be kind, because some of the
Yes.
rhetoric was not kind. It wasn't kind. And I'm still going to say that what I said before is that we were all brought here to live here together. And negative
Yes.
rhetoric is not going to help.
Right.
Unaliving people is not going to help.
Right.
Both kill.
It's not a
One, you kill the
solution.
spirit, and one, you kill physically. So
Yes.
let's be more kind to one another and stop throwing our own agendas on one another.
Our
Okay.
own
So
agendas
now,
and judgments
and
about
judgments,
other
because that's
people.
really what it is about judgments. It's a lot of judgments. And if somebody's not like you, they're not like you. That's why we were placed here, to be different than one another. We're not
Right.
supposed to all be alike. We're not supposed to all be
Right.
alike. So,
Right.
so now what we're going to do is, because we're going to get off of that
Yes.
topic, because we're
Yes.
happy. Okay,
Yes.
we're
We're
we
done. We're
inhabit
done with this
usually
one.
we're usually happy folks. So let's get
Yes.
on to the meat and potatoes of it. Let's talk about
Yes.
the movie that we saw on Netflix, which is
Yes.
Netflix Millionaire.
Millionaire.
Let's
Millionaire.
get the picture for you. Let's get the picture for you.
Yes.
Let's
Let's.
find them. Let's see. There we are,
Mhm.
folks. All
Okay.
right, Heather. Listen, because it's been about a week since we've talked about this young man,
Oh,
dude, let me get
yes.
the description. Let me get the description of him.
Yes. Yes, please
Now,
do.
folks, here's the description. The description is documentary. This is a description of a documentary of a Chilean man who hits the
Mm,
headlines when his damaged lottery ticket claiming a life-changing jackpot sparks a national investigation. Y'all wait till me and Heather tell you about this
mm,
movie. If you haven't
yeah.
seen it on Netflix, please go see it. Basically, folks, what happened is this man got the winning ticket, scratched it off, and threw it in
Hmm.
the trash. Then, when the numbers came out, he says, "Oh my God, oh my God, I got the ticket." Folks, he
Yep.
went through his trash, everybody's trash, to find this, only but to find it in pieces. Now, Heather, give us a little bit of background of what happened after that, because that's the
Ooh.
key. Ooh,
Yeah, there's a lot of drama. So, I
woo.
recommend you watch it. So I'm only going to just say a few little things. Okay. Now, this guy gets the ticket, right? And
Right,
look, it can happen to anybody. I'm sure we've all had a situation. If anybody buys a scratcher or a regular lotto ticket where you misplace it, you're like, oh, I gotta find it so I can get the number. Okay, so it happens,
right,
okay, because that's how life is. It's a small
right,
piece of paper. You can okay. So he ends up losing and realizes, oh my gosh, those are the numbers that I always play.
right.
Okay. So he is looking high and low for this trash everywhere. And so one day the wife comes in and she and the daughter, and they're like, oh my God, someone's ransacked our house. Like what's going on? No, it was him. He was looking for this lotto ticket. To make a long
That's right.
story short, he finds it, but it's in very, very bad condition.
I mean,
The
Heather,
numbers
wasn't
are
it
kind of,
terrible? Girl, it
it's
looked like he
torn.
had old butter. He had
Yes.
butter, corn, bread, everything, tortilla, everything was on it,
Food,
girl.
everything. And so some of the numbers you can't really see it. It's torn. There's a piece
Right,
missing that they end up finding the one of the pieces that help to say, okay, that's the number. But the problem is when you go to the officials to turn in your ticket, it doesn't look very good because they're like, is this a real
oh,
ticket
this
or
is
is this a
everywhere.
made up?
This is everywhere. Even if you're out here in California, if that ticket is not legible, you are not
Yes.
going to be
No.
able to claim the ticket. Okay. And then
So yes.
that's where we're gonna stop because
Yes.
we want
Yes.
you to see the rest of it. Because you
Yes.
gotta see what happened because this man goes through hell and hot water to try to get this money. So you have to see the movie
You have
to
to
see
see
what
it.
happened,
Mm.
everything he went through, and how it ended. And guess
Oh,
what? If it ended,
mm-mm.
okay, you got to go and check it
Right.
out because
Okay,
this
but
movie
here's
was
this.
crazy.
Listen. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna make a public announcement. Please make sure your scratchers and your tickets you purchase, keep them in the same place. Maybe where
Man,
you
keep them in
keep
the
your
same place.
keys. Keep it where your keys or where the one
Right,
place safe, dry, and clean. Because
right.
friends, it was there was a lot of frustrating moments in this movie where I'm thinking,
Man,
dude,
I was
what?
so irritated.
It was very irritating. It's almost like I don't. I'm like, dude, come on, the one ticket, and that's the one you throw. So
And
please,
that's the one you throw
public
away.
service announcement. Please keep it in a nice, dry, clean place
Right,
where you will always find it, and always check your numbers. Thank you. That's all I want to
right.
say.
Always check your numbers. Have it
Mhm.
in the right place, y'all. Because if you don't,
Yes,
you end up like this man. You ain't getting that money. Okay. So
you are.
please, if you get a chance, go on Netflix. It is called Millionaire. I promise
Yes,
you, you are going to
it's
be
good.
entertained when you watch
Yes.
all the mess, all the
Mess,
highs and lows of
drama,
this. They're going
drama,
to be
drama.
the next time you buy
Mhm.
a ticket, you're going to make sure you put it somewhere where you need to find it.
Right.
Okay. All right.
For
So
sure.
listen, folks, listen. We appreciate you guys joining us. But before you leave, please like, share, and subscribe. Jollystudios at gmail.com, www.jollystudios.com, and at Heather Mola. So you can follow Heather because she is still on her weight loss journey and she is doing a lot of
Yes.
stuff besides
Yes.
that. Okay.
Yes.
So listen, thank you so much for joining us. We
Thank
appreciate you.
you,
And we will
everyone.
see you guys next week. Have a good one.
Yes. Okay, bye,
Bye.
guys.